What I like to live by, every loser sees difficulty in every opportunity, but every winner sees opportunity in every difficulty. What's good, what's good? Welcome back to an episode of Kingsley TV. My name is Aaron Kingsley Brown. I post videos about the track and field experience and my life as a professional sprinter, so if you vibe with that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join me on the wave for 25,000 subscribers. Today we got a special guest, my training partner, Kung Fu Kenny, Olympic silver medalist, JUCO legend, World Championship silver medalist. Talk to him, man.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. Thanks for putting me on here. Yeah, let's get the ball rolling.
Cool. So today's episode is a fast talk episode. I haven't done one in a long time, so we're gonna bring this back. And who better to start off with than my training partner, one who's had a lot of success. So to dive into it, we're gonna start with who is you? That's the first segment. And first question, who's Kung Fu Kenny? Tell me all about it. Where'd that name come from? Where'd that character get started from? What's it all about?
I just wanted to stand out from all the other athletes, and Kung Fu Kenny has a set of values that pertain to me as humbleness, discipline, respect, and dedication, and I just want to live those on and off the track. And we also got that headband just to kind of help me stand out,
Nice. And what do you like to do for fun?
I like to play video games, watch anime, outdoor activities like canoeing, playing basketball, anything that can kind of get my heart rate pumping.
All right. What kind of music do you listen to?
I listen to a lot of Afro beats right now, but I like to listen to J. Cole and Kendrick. So yeah. Okay.
And so if you're at a meet and you're coming out, Kung Fu Kenny's being introduced, what's your intro song?
My go-to is Dez by Migos and 2 Chainz.
Okay. They're in trouble. So what's your favorite cheat day meal, man?
I like cheesecake, I like ramen, I like a nice slice of pizza.
Okay. What kind of pizza?
Cheese.
Plain gotta step that up. So what's the most embarrassing song in your playlist? If someone stole your phone and you're going through your playlist on your phone, all the music that you got, what's one song that you wouldn't want them to see?
I got a few anime songs in there. It's in Japanese, so I don't know the actual name, but okay. I would say a few of those, and I got some Spanish songs out there. Same thing, I don't know what they're saying, but it kind of, gets me moving.
Okay, like to move them hips, all right. Speaking of dancing, what's your go-to dance move in the club?
Shoot, I might as well do it now.
Go ahead.
I got my drink in my hand.
Hey. All right. So if you're putting on a Coachella concert, name 3 artists to headline it for you.
J. Cole, Kendrick, and Travis Scott.
Okay. All right, so you're a Packer fan and you love NFL football. If you could compare yourself to someone in the league that would be your comp for what you do in track and field, who would it be?
If I got to compare myself to what?
If you can compare yourself to someone in the league that resembles your career, you know what I mean? Who would be your NFL comp?
I guess I would say, he retired, but Donald Driver.
Okay.
Why? Because he was just consistent and he was a baller until the very end.
You know what I would say? For you, I would say like Larry Fitzgerald.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one too. I love that dude. Yeah.
Just every year putting up stats. It's been just like real humble, real kind of under the radar. People don't realize how good he is. Hall of Fame career.
Yeah,
that's what I would say.
That's a good comparison. I think they're both similar. But yeah, Larry Fitzgerald used to be one of my favorite players.
Yeah. Speaking of flying under the radar, do you feel like you get enough respect in the media, man? Do they talk about you enough? I mean, you got the accolades, you got a big following on social media. Do you feel like you get enough respect?
I think it's gotten a little bit better, but as of right now, it's kind of the same thing. Like you said, I have the accolades and everything, but I feel like I'm not really mentioned as one of those people that are gonna contend. You got those young boys coming up, but it's like every single year I gotta remind them who I am. Right. And that's fine. That just adds fuel to the fire.
But when you go out there and run, is that disrespect and being kind of unnoticed, or at least talked about like the big stars are? Does that fuel you to run fast? Like, do you feel like if you were mentioned, you wouldn't have that same?
No, I would still have that same fire, because if that wasn't there, I have something else to motivate me. I've always been the type of person where, I'm self-motivated, so like that would never be a problem. I'll be out there saying, hey, I'm motivated to be the best, so that's why I'm running fast. And hey, this guy disrespected me here, or they're saying this, then that's another reason. But every single time I step on the track, there's always a reason for me to perform.
Okay. Well, normally in track, it doesn't matter if you get the attention because you get to line up. As long as you get a lane, you can do your thing. But in terms of the relay, when you're disrespected and unmentioned, you don't get the opportunities to show what you can do. And with the USA, you guys have a spoil of riches. You guys have so many people that can run certain legs.
Yeah.
You have the resume. You feel like you have the criteria, but you haven't got a shot yet. Why should Kenny B be on the relay? Lobby for yourself right now.
Anything they ask me to do, I'm gonna do it. Like you said before, I have the accolades, and I would say I ran enough 100 meters to know that, hey, I got it in me. I've done a few practice rounds with some of the people that are on the team. But yeah, just gotta give me a chance. Let me show you what I got, because I can do it for them. I can run a nice, easy second leg or be an anchor, and I just I feel like I deserve it because, like I said, I've been consistent. And I mean, even in Olympic year when I ran 989, like, what do you want me to do?
There you go. Hey, USATF coach, man, you listening? He's lobbying right now. But as a Canadian sprinter, I hope they keep him on the sidelines because I know what he can do, and he's only going to help the team. But in all honesty, I want to see you get a shot, man, because I feel like you deserve it.
Yeah.
So, speaking of respect, you're a triple threat. You started out as a 4.2 guy. As you mentioned, you ran 989 in the 100. So, do you feel like you're going to get back into the 4? Or are we going to see you in some more 4s, man?
Shoot, that depends on coach. But, I mean, honestly, I know this year we at least got 2 of them, so I'm going to do my best to break my personal best in those. But yeah, I think most likely would be competing in the 4 all year and off year. And that's what it's looking like right now. But honestly, for me, I would love to just kind of dabble in it any time of the season. But yeah, it just kind of has to line up with the schedule,
Okay. So when they talk about triple threats in the world, do you feel like you should be mentioning that?
Honestly, as of right now, I would understand why I wouldn't be mentioning that, just because I haven't ran the 4. Like, I know people forgot that I was a 400 meter runner. So once I get back into running that consistently, then yeah, I feel like I should be in that category, because I know I can run 43, but as of right now, we running just 2 in the 1.
You go 9.8, 19.6, and 43. That's oof.
Oh, I know. Hey, that opens the gates for other things.
Well, maybe a 4x4 might be in your future, man.
Hey, put me in, coach.
All right, let's change gears. So we were speaking about anime earlier because you like anime. So let me ask you a question. Who'd win in a fight, Goku or Superman?
Oh, damn. I'm gonna say Superman, because he has kryptonite. So if he has that anywhere, all his powers are pretty much gone. And he has the other kryptonites like the red, the gold, and whatever. So that influences his bodies in different ways. And Goku, his only downfall is just, I guess, picking a fight he can't handle.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say Goku.
Okay. All right, now I got a list of questions for you. So, your girlfriend, Sharmila, is also someone who's been behind a lot of your success. Talk to me about her a little bit. What does she do for you behind the scenes and kind of helping you with your support team?
I mean, when I first became a pro, just being a collegiate being a collegiate atmosphere, having everything kind of catered to me, and then all of a sudden, hey, you got money, now you kind of have to figure out yourself and find your own team. And when she stepped in, she helped me a lot with finding the right people to be in my team, finding the right routine every single day to kind of do. I mean, she's been a big reason why I'm successful in this sport. And I believe without her, I would kind of be still struggling with a little injuries here and there. But yeah, she's done a lot behind the scenes. I can say I dedicate most of my success to her.
Okay, that's very nice, very sweet. And now we're about to change it up. So, she's also a professional golfer, and we're gonna see she's competitive. So now we're gonna compare. Who's a better singer, you or her?
Me.
Who's a better dancer?
Her.
Who's a better cook?
Me.
Who sleeps in more?
Her.
Okay. Who's a better driver?
Me, for sure. I mean, Indians are crazy.
Who can handle their liquor better?
I would say her in the beginning, but now me.
Okay. Speaking of discipline and things that you do off the track, we both did a weekend fast. Talk to me about that. Tell the audience what that was like for you.
I'm not trying to scare anybody, but that was the worst thing I have ever done to myself. I mean, honestly, we're just trying to make sure that the body can heal itself properly. And the first day I was okay. We had practice, so by the time we're done, it's already 2 o'clock. And you're like, oh, I'm hungry, I can survive. Mm-hmm. But then once we tried to go to sleep, my body woke me up at 2 in the morning. So I was kind of already struggling from then on. But yeah, I mean, the second day, as you already know, that was a little bit more difficult for me. I was telling her, like, hey, I don't think I can make it. I ended up texting y'all in the chat, like, hey, I think I'm about to fail. But I mean, I pretty much had to sleep the whole day just to kind of go through that. Mm-hmm. Body was aching here and there, but that's just, it was going through its reserves and trying to fix everything that needed to be fixed. Yeah. And I mean, the third day I was fine. And I mean, I ain't gonna lie, like when I first opened the fridge, I kind of opened it up and I was like, a little smile on my face, like I've never been so happy to actually see food.
I swear every bite was like that much more flavorful, more juicy. Exactly. It was like, man, I've never had a strawberry like this before.
Yeah, exactly. I appreciate it a lot more. But after the 3-day fast, like body-wise, I feel a lot better. Mm-hmm. I mean, some of the things that like I was dealing with my hamstring injury, I still had a little scar tissue, a little tingle here and there. After that, like I didn't feel anything. I mean, all the inflammation in my body, I think it kind of went away. So it was very helpful. It was definitely worth it. It's just, it's a struggle going through 3 days without eating food.
Yeah. Well, you need that Kung Fu Kenny mental strength to get through it, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I believe most people, like, if they're not mentally strong, they're going to fail.
Right.
Especially after the first day. But it's definitely worth it. And, I mean, when you're at this level, if we can't get through one simple thing like that, how are we going to get through the rounds,
Hey, facts. So this segment is called Track or Field, and it's basically this or that. It's a segment to give the audience a better sense of who Kenny is with the rapid-fire questions and just basically picking out what he liked better. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. So, Normatec or massage gun?
Normatec.
Cookies or donuts?
Donuts.
NFL or NBA?
NFL.
Watching the Packers or playing Madden?
Watching the Packers.
Okay. Netflix or video games?
Video games.
All right. Sauna or cold tub?
Sauna.
All right. Win the Olympics or suit up for the Packers?
Win the Olympics.
Okay. World record or Super Bowl ring?
World record.
All right. Dedicated to the sport. I like it. Night in or night out?
Night in.
Okay. Dinner in a movie or roller skating?
Dinner in a movie.
Okay. Sweats or jeans?
Sweats.
Rap or R&B?
Rap.
Super strength or super speed?
Super speed.
Invisibility or telepathy?
Invisibility. Oh, really sneaky.
Gucci or Versace?
Versace.
100 meters or 200 meters?
200.
400 meters or 60?
I'm going to take that 4.
And 4x1 or 4x4?
4x1.
All right, there you go. All right, so this segment is called Path to Pro. For those who don't know, I offer a program called the Pro Sprinter Blueprint where I teach young collegiate sprinters how they can go pro. And for Kenny, he had an unorthodox path to the pros. He actually came pro right out of JUCO, so we're going to talk about that. So take us back to JUCO, man. Everything that I've heard about JUCO is that when you get there, you're trying to get out as fast as you can. It's basically like prison. There's not much to do other than run track, go to school, run track, go to school. What was your experience like?
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what it is. I mean, when I realized I had to go to JUCO, I didn't want anybody to know. I was ashamed. And I mean, once I got there, yeah, it was just grind it out and get out as fast as possible. I mean, honestly, when I got there, I was like, okay, what can I do to be, a one and done? Yeah. Go to Division I, and I don't think pro is literally in the picture until later on. But yeah, I mean, that was the plan. I mean.
So when you went there, were you planning to transfer to a D1 after?
Yeah, I wanted to go to a D1. I verbally committed to Oregon, and then I found out at Skull Ducks, But yeah, I wanted to go there. So I verbally committed to them, and then I went to JUCO. So I was in talks with them for a while, and I mean, that year was just a crazy year. A lot of things happened. We had a few coaches come and go that one year. I don't want to get too detailed about it, but I mean, all I could say is that you got last chance you for football. I believe you can have that for anything in the JUCO level.
That would be a great content idea, man. Last chance you for track.
Oh yeah, for
just
sure.
Showing all the people trying to get out there. There's a lot of great talent, man. I know you raced guys like Terrence Laird back in the day.
Yeah.
And,
Terrence
Courtney Lindsay, our training partner now.
Yep.
So a lot of greats that came out of JUCO. But for you, man, you ran 1949 in JUCO. Winded, of course, but still, having your body go 1949, what'd that feel like?
Just like people would say that I had a hurricane wind behind me.
I mean, I don't even care.
6.2 wind.
Some people are hurricane, they're still not even breaking 20s. 19.4, that's like, I think that's the fourth fastest time, all conditions. So, what did your body feel like after that?
Dude, it's just like an out of body experience. I mean, you just got the wind picking you up, and I was just riding it. Yeah, it was just crazy. It was mind blowing. I mean, when I saw Terrence go, I think he went 19.6.
Yeah.
And he was right before me in the heat before me, and I was like, whoa, okay, I got to do something crazy because I'm that guy, so I got to show up. So I mean, like went across the finish line, and it's kind of like, yeah, I did that kind of moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I can't really describe how it feels. I mean, it's just a whole out of body experience, and I mean the fact that my body was capable of actually holding on to that says that I'm capable of running that.
Yeah.
So now we just gotta do it at the pro scene now.
Right. So, what was the biggest difference between JUCO and the pro level that you found?
Honestly, I would say for the JUCO level, there's not that much of a difference. I mean, if you're in Division I, you kind of have everything catered for you, and I mean, at the JUCO level, you have a few things for you, but I mean, me having that transition and going from JUCO to pro, I mean, wasn't that big because. I mean, we had, I think, one massage therapist or two for every program in that school. So there would be some days where we don't even have massage therapists because they're out with the soccer team or baseball team somewhere else. I mean, so you just kind of had to make do with whatever. And then going into pro, you just got to find the right people. And, I mean, you're on your own essentially. So it's kind of like the same thing. It wasn't that much of a difference. I mean, obviously you got more money involved and you're traveling across the world and you get appearance fees here and there. The fans love you a lot more over in Europe. But yeah, I mean, for me, it wasn't that big of a transition.
That's good. So basically in JUCO, you got to figure it out for yourself. And on the pro level, you got to figure it out for yourself.
Pretty much, yeah.
Really, the only time you get spoon-fed is in college.
Yeah, that's what I believe. And that's why I always say that if you're at the Division I level, I can understand why some athletes have a difficult time transitioning because, like I said, you have everything catered for you. And then now, hey, you're on the pro scene. Yeah, you're making money, but you got to figure everything out by yourself if it's not there for you. And some people have a hard time just adjusting to that. You pull a hamstring and, sometimes people they don't have the luxury to actually have, that staff there for them. And then they got to just figure it out,
Yeah. So for the people who are in JUCO right now who want to go pro, they didn't make it D1, but they still want to go pro eventually, and they're kind of discouraged, and they feel like, I have to go D1 in order to make it. Give them some words of inspiration, man. How can they make it?
That's all noise. I mean, you just got to grind it out. I mean, just do everything your coaches say to do. You got to make sure to be disciplined. That's the number one thing. And if you're disciplined and, you study and do everything that you need to do on and off the track, I think you're capable of achieving all your goals. I mean, that's what I did. I only went to like 2 parties, and then after that, the entire year, it was just, hey, track, chill with my friends, play video games, play basketball, whatever. But I didn't do too much. You got to recover every single time you're damaging the body by running, and you just got to be very disciplined in order to get to the next level.
Well, speaking of which, you had a successful transition from JUCO to pro. Your accolades, let me actually make sure I get this right. So, we know you're Olympic silver medalist in the 200. You're a world championship silver medalist in the 200. 989 PR in the 100. 1968 PR in the 200. 4473 in the 4. Diamond League champ in 2021. And you also, not a lot of people know this, you have the record for the most sub-20s in a season with 11. The most Bolt ever had was 5, just for people who don't know that.
Oh,
Did you even know that?
I didn't know how much Bolt had.
Oh, okay.
But
And you've also run 21 sub-20s in your career, which is, I believe, is fourth all-time behind Noah, Bolt, and Spearman.
Yeah,
So,
that sounds correct.
Yeah. So you successfully were able to make that transition. What would you say was the biggest key for your success going from JUCO to the pros?
Just being disciplined. I wouldn't have accomplished half the things that you read out if I wasn't disciplined. I mean, like I said, it's just down to you work your body off every single day, and the next thing you got to think about right after that is recovery, because you know your body's doing something that's unnatural. Not many people are capable of running that fast. So yeah, just being disciplined was the reason why I'm here today. As you already know, over the past few years, I had the toe injury, then I had my hamstring pull, and I still made it, and that's just because I just do everything to a T.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's all I can really say.
Do you like running the 200?
I like it, but it gets to a point where I'm like, man, I'm tired of doing this. I mean, you already know the year 2021 when I ran that many sub-20s.
I was right there with you in a lot of those races.
Yeah.
We're on the line like, man, another 2?
Exactly. So, I mean, I try to see if I can get in the 100 in any of these races. It's like, nah, they don't want you out there. So I'm like, okay, I guess it's another 2. And, I mean, honestly, I would say mentally I was a little pooped out, but physically I had another one in me.
I mean, you did it. You banged out 11 sub-20s, a new record, so I say that it went pretty well.
Yeah.
But talk about your opportunities in the 100, man. Why is it so hard for you to get races in the 100, do you feel like?
I mean, there's a lot of politics, you know, lane draws, all that. They're going to want some of their people to have a lane out there.
You're also American, so...
Yeah, also American, so you got that. You know, they don't want to have
a certain amount of Americans in the race.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, most of the top guys are in the U.S., so, I mean, like, it's just basically politics, as you already know. Because, I mean, running 989, like, I already have that. I cemented myself as a 100 guy, you know. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's why.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you still have your lane in the 200s, so at least there's that.
Yeah, this year, you know, I'm trying to shake it up a little bit in the 100, run a few more and see what I can do with that, try to make the team and get on that relay and, you know, try to double.
So what were some of the mistakes that you made when you went from JUCO to pro that you could tell a young person to look out for and not fall in that same path?
I would say my biggest thing is nutrition. When you're in college, you kind of just eat whatever. I have ramen noodles, not like, you know, the fancy one, just the instant
cup
ramen.
Noodles?
Yeah, the cup of noodles, the instant noodles. So, yeah, just for me, the biggest thing that I had to change was just my diet. I had a I had a gluten intolerance problem. So over time, my body started rejecting gluten, and I was having a lot of stomach problems here and there, and that's kind of when I got more heavily detailed on what I should put in my body. And I mean, that's the most important thing that you got to worry about as an athlete, because you got, like, for us, we got to treat our body like it's a car, and if you're putting bad gasoline in there, then something's going to give sooner or later. So honestly, for these, you know, JUCO kids, college kids, that's the number one thing they need to focus on, just diet and recovery.
Yep. All right, so you're one of those raw, talented guys that didn't really plan to go pro in track. You kind of just were steered there because you had so much raw talent. And you're honestly one of the most raw, talented guys that I've trained with, you know, going out there and just not even knowing what you're doing, just running fast by accident. So what was one thing that you learned about the pro level when you got there that you didn't know about before? Because you didn't really watch track growing up. So what kind of surprised you when you finally got there?
Honestly, I would say technique.
Technique? Okay.
I mean, when I was running, I always had compliments. Oh, your form looks great, blah, blah, blah. And then once I got to the pro scene, it's like, hey, your form is shitty. So you just got to clean up. You know, so many different things. You got your shin angles, how you're pumping your arms. You know, simple things that, like, you can't have your back arched when you're tired, all those little things. That was, for me, that was very humbling. I mean, everything else was kind of easier for me to digest, but it was pretty much just fixing technique, because it's like, hey, you've been doing this for so long, you know, because I've been doing track for a while. I was running like in elementary, and, you know, running from elementary, then when you're 20-something, you got to change, you know, simple things here and there. It's just very difficult to change it like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, that's what it was.
Well, for people who don't know, when I say raw talent, this guy is really annoying to train with sometimes. Because I'll be dying, and he'll be like, yeah, I'm dying too, and then he'll go out and run faster than he did in the last rep. So it's like, I can't take your word, man. You're setting me up.
They call me a sneaky boy.
Yeah, he's a sneaky boy for real. So don't let him fool you if you're ever training with him. But
man, I'm feeling a little tight right here.
Yeah. That's the line right there.
You know the other one where
right
I'm
here.
like, hey, what are we gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Yeah, he'll say, oh, I'm chilling, and then boom, take off. But run through people what your typical day looks like as a pro, because a lot of people don't know what our day looks like, what we kind of do on a day-to-day basis as a professional athlete in track and field. So what does that look like for you?
So you already know I'm waking up by 7:45, eat breakfast, put my clothes on, get to the track by 9. We do our warm-up and everything, and then we pretty much do our runs at like 10 to 10:45, 11, depending on what mood he's in, what mood everybody else in, how slow or fast today is. Then we got the weight room right after, and depending on that day, I dread it, because sometimes my body be a little bit more stickier than others, and I'm like, man, I want to go home. And you already know how long it can get, but sometimes it can get, we done in the gym by 2:30, 1:30, 2 o'clock. That's the average range, and then after that, go home for about an hour and get food. Right after that, it's recovery time. So, ice bath, sauna, massage, chiropractor, whichever day you have that on. And by the time I'm actually done with my day, it's already like 5:30, 5 o'clock.
Yep.
And I'm already thinking about the next day, So
you got any downtime? What do you do for fun?
I pretty much give myself a couple hours to just play the game, chill with the dogs. Sometimes if we have enough time, if my body's not feeling too crappy, we take the dogs out on our little scooters that we bought. And then after that, we just pretty much kicking in and watching our shows.
Well, speaking of the game, you do play in a Madden league with some of our teammates, Kyrie, Melissa, Dez.
Yeah, we got a little Madden league going on.
Yeah, talk about your Madden league, man. When are you going to stream, man? When you get your Twitch popping?
So, I just started doing the whole Twitch thing. My girlfriend doesn't like it as much as I do. But, I got me and a couple of guys in it, and, we just having a blast, and very competitive league. We try to keep it realistic because, with video games, there's going to be a glitch here and there, but I think last season I went 14-4 and I lost in the first round.
Oh, no. Like so Dallas Cowboys over here.
Exactly. I choked. So,
damn, Dak.
That's something I like to do. I like playing video games, but I like to play it more with friends, and that's why I pretty much got into video games because, I use that as a way to kind of get away from the real world and just bond with my friends and talk about whatever, talk crap or whatever we want to discuss. And, I'm actually going to be twitching that a little bit more. I need to get some fans in there,
Go ahead and plug your handle, man. What's the Twitch?
Kung Fu Kenny 98.
All right, go follow up. All right, so this segment is called Race Breakdown, and it's self-explanatory. I'm going to pick 2 races to break down, and I'm going to specifically choose ones that the audience might not expect, that they might not have seen, with cool stories behind it, and then he's going to do the same with 2 of his selection of his own. So my first one, I'm going to pull it out. Go ahead and talk to the audience about this race.
This is the surprise race?
Yeah. Do you know what it is?
Yeah, it's the finals, right?
Yeah.
So we got the finals here, 2021, when I ran my 989. You got Noah, you got me, you got a bunch of, I ran 990 something, I forgot.
996, I think.
996,
yep.
and mentally I was kind of like, dang, we just ran like really fast, that's my PB. I said, ain't no way we're gonna run faster than that. So, in the finals, I was feeling very confident. I just got to the point where it's like, dang, I can actually win this thing because, I was PBing every single round. And that was my mindset before the gun went off. And I'm about to start. As soon as the gun went off, it was just go, 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 go. Honestly, for me, I think if I ran a few more 100 meters during the race, I would have been more mentally tapped in because while we were running the race, I was kind of like, okay, we moving. And, I was right next to Justin, and unfortunately, he ended up pulling his hamstring. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, that guy just pulled his hamstring. And then I almost went into Fred's lane, and I was like, okay, I got to get back in the race. And honestly, I didn't even really know what happened at the end. And as soon as we just crossed the finish line, I was just looking to see where everybody was at. And then once I saw that 989, I was like, oh, shoot. Like, I didn't even know I had that in me. And
then I was kind of upset because, you know, I got edged out by Fred. But yeah, I mean, overall, I felt like I had a really great race in there. And you know, I was just a little disappointed because I got edged out, but then I was also thinking I just made the relay team, you know.
Yeah.
And that was a goal that me and Coach wanted to have. So I mean, I was having a lot of fun during that time.
Well, let me tell you what I saw from my perspective, right? So whenever you guys go to USA Trials, I'm always watching. I'm nervous. I'm pulling for you guys because I know it's the hardest team to make in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And you went in there having barely run the 100. I'm like, oh, I don't even know why he's running the 100. Like, just focus on the 2.
Yeah, I think I had like 400
yeah,
meters.
you barely even ran the 100. I'm like,
yeah.
how's Kenny doing this? And you hadn't even broken sub 10 yet. So you go through the first round, 10:03. I'm like, oh, okay, I think that might be a PR for you. Then you go out in the next round and run 9:96 and tie my PR. And I'm like, oh, okay, Kenny's actually doing this thing. He's in the finals. This is nice. And then you make the finals and run 9:89 and get 4th. And it's crazy because that should put you in the relay pool, but as we know, politics and all that, you didn't get a chance.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why I picked this race is because that just showed your potential and what you can do when people are sleeping on you. Because you always just come up when people aren't expecting it.
Mm-hmm.
But it also could have changed your life. Because if you did edge out Fred and you made that finals,
Oh yeah.
maybe that's you in the finals in Tokyo. That silver
true.
medal instead of Fred. So
I've always felt that way. If I, you know, edged him out,
Yeah.
the potential to actually win would have been there.
Yeah.
Because like you said before, at the end of the day, I have a lot of talent and I always put my A game. And you know, as soon as the gun goes off, I'm just all right, F it mode and just
Yeah.
see what I can do.
Well, we're back in Olympic trials, so I want to see you back in those trials at USA's, and I want to get you in that 100-meter finals and make the team. Because I really feel like that would put an end to all the politics, and you
Oh,
really
yeah.
get in the relay team. If they play with you, then that's personal.
No,
You
we
know,
have to
you might
win
have
the
to
thing.
sue or something.
But no, that's the goal.
Yeah.
Just we're not playing around this year, and we're definitely gonna make it this year. This team.
Cool. So that was number 1. Number 2.
Oh yeah. Now this is the one I was ready for.
Yeah.
All
Talk
right.
to us
So
about this one.
we got the one in Des Moines, and this, like I was saying before, this is my coming out party. And this is me right out of JUCO, and
You didn't even have the beard yet.
nope, I just had a little
Yeah,
little
you
scrubble.
you had the Aaron Brown.
Yeah, so
He was light.
you know, I was just kind of going through the rounds, and I think the first round, you know, I did a little stop and go. I guess the problem that I was having through these rounds was I was hearing an echo. So as soon as they shot the gun, like I would hear the echo at the very last second. So I was like, okay, we got to stop because somebody false started. And when we went into this round, I remember Coach told me before then, he said, hey, just go. And I said, okay, I got you. As soon as the gun went off, I did the exact same thing I did the race before. I did a little let up. I said, oh, people are still running.
Yeah.
And then
they're running.
Yeah.
They're
So
trying to make the finals.
as soon as I saw Coleman go past me, I was like, okay, we running. So I had to catch him. And then, you know, I tried to catch him, and I ended up edging him out at the very end. And I mean, honestly, it just felt very easy to me. It was kind of like a normal day to me.
Yeah.
And then it was just on to the next round. But it was just a funny situation because I've never been in a situation where I've stopped mid-race and then, you know, step on the gas pedal and then edge somebody out like that, especially Christian Coleman.
So the reason why I chose that one is because that just showed me that you're a freak of nature, bro. Like, you stopped mid-race, well, at the beginning of the race, and still ran 20 flat. Like, you don't know how hard that is to do. A lot of people struggle to run 20 flat all out. You stop, look around, oh, it's time to run, or I'm in the race. I'm in the USA trials, you know, trying to make the team.
Yeah.
And you run down Coleman, who, like you said, he always notoriously gets out. And so even without you stopping, he's going to be on you. You stop, he gets on you, you run him down and still have time to shut down at the end. I was like, all right, this dude's different.
Yeah.
You know, and that was our first year training together. And when I was watching that, I'm like, okay, this guy's legit. Like, this guy's going to be a star. That's when I really knew you had the potential to be a big guy, and you went on to do big things. So
Yeah, that was when I was just not thinking about anything, just running raw.
just running carefree, just raw,
and
pure
that's what I was
potential
saying.
out of JUCO. Like, when I first saw that 19.4, 19.8, I'm like, that's JUCO stuff. I don't know if he's legit. But that I was like, okay, this guy's got some serious
Yeah,
talent.
we need to get back on that though.
Yeah. So those are my 2 picks. What you got for me?
So I don't have the phone in front of me, but I know this year we had our Diamond League race in Brussels, and as you already know, I guess I had the demons talking to me. But I think it's because we went to Zurich the week before, and it was very cold, and then I think it was raining at that race, and I think I caught like the flu or COVID or whatever it was. So when I was going into Brussels, like I had a headache. Yeah. I think I had the fever, and then I couldn't function properly. So the day before, I remember I was complaining to you guys saying like, man, my head hurts. And we were doing our warm-up drills, and I was like stopping. You guys like, you good? I'm like, no, my head's about to explode. And then,
and then we did that practice start. Me and Kyrie are gone, and then we look back. You're on the floor. I'm like, what are you doing?
So yeah, I was going through a rough time the day before the race, and I mean, I talked to massage lady Jerica, and I was just like, what I gotta do, and I just ended up taking an Advil and went to bed and drank a lot of water. And during the warm up for the race, I kind of still had that headache and just the flu symptoms. I was coughing a lot, and I was just sick. So, going to the race, I think I cracked a joke too. I said, hey, if I'm coughing a lot right before the race, like the gun goes off, I'm gonna put my hand up because obviously I don't want to be coughing when they shoot the gun. So I mean, honestly, I just as soon as they shot the gun, it was kind of like, all right, enough BS, just go time. And for me, like that was a very significant race because that was the first time I actually was like down sick bad. And I keep telling people that's like my Jordan race, the flu game. And I ended up running 19.79 at that race, and I think that was my personal best for the year. It was a pretty tough season last year. But yeah, it was my flu game. Execution-wise, I felt like I did everything right. And I mean, right after the race, I had the headache and everything, but I ended up getting the dub.
But just to go on that one real quick, in Brussels, like you said, in the pre-meet, you were falling out, and I was thinking in my head, ooh, I don't know if Kenny's got it. Yeah. Because we're boys and we're competitors at the same time. So I'm like, okay, maybe this might be the one. But of course, you pull out your flu game. But we both left that one happy, and we had a nice moment at the end where they caught on camera and we're dapping and we're happy. We both were in SBs. That was my first sub 20 of the season. And it was an up and down year for me too. So I felt like that was a good race where we could actually show like, all right, if we just stop like overthinking things and just go out there and execute, this is what we can be doing. This is what we should be doing. So we got to bring that into 2024.
Pretty much, we just had to simplify things, and once we simplify it, then everything is a flow, and that's what we're gonna do this year.
So what's your next race?
So I'm gonna take it back to my high school days. I think it was my sophomore year, and I remember we were indoor. It was in the indoor season, and my coach and I decided to run the 800 meters. Just to kind of build that strength up for the 4. And for me, this was just a funny moment just because, like I said, first time running it, and then you have to do double the amount indoors instead of outdoors. So, I had to run a total of 4 laps. And once I got to my 3rd lap, I guess I miscounted on how many laps I did before, and I just booked it. And then when I crossed the finish line, I went to a dead stop, and then my coach was like, what the hell are you doing? You got one more. And I was like, oh, shit. So
where'd you finish?
I ran 2 minutes and 2 seconds, so that was pretty decent, but it was just a funny moment because, like I said, I've never put myself in a situation where I've gone to a dead stop besides obviously in the pro race. But right as soon as I stopped, all my muscles started and the lactic came in, and after that I was running as slow as hell the last 200 meters, and it was just the worst last part of the race I've ever done in my life. But I still won. But
I don't know how. Because if you sprint and then you're not even done yet, like you empty the tank, I don't know where you go from there. So
just mental toughness, man. You gotta go through that booty lock.
Yeah, that's crazy. Damn. Okay, so now we got fan questions in this segment. I put down a poll in my Instagram stories asking you guys for questions, and now I'm gonna pick the best 3. Manny Hustle says, if you could design your own spikes and lifestyle shoe, what colorways and styles would you use?
Honestly, I have it like animated theme. Because like I said before, I like anime, so
Naruto.
Yeah, something like that. Have some kunais and some shurikens on there, and then have my own little head. Like I got my own headband design on there, and
I don't know what you just said. That sounded like gibberish. Was that Japanese?
Yeah, kunai is like a little knife thing they got, and then the shuriken is the star thing that they throw.
Okay. See, Kung Fu Kenny, man.
Yeah.
All right. Noah Devil 18 said, "Why do y'all love wearing headbands?"
Because it makes me look cool. I don't know. I don't like showing my forehead.
For me, 2 reasons. One is because back when I played basketball, I liked Allen Iverson, so I always wanted to look like him. And I kind of just carried that on from when I was running in track. And 2, sometimes when you're overseas, you're over there for a long time and you can't get a haircut. So when you have a headband,
That is true.
covers it up.
That is true.
I gotta see who this is, but what's the one thing that clicked in y'all's head that led to you guys running elite times?
The one thing that clicked to my head, honestly, is just like I said before, just simplifying things. I mean, I know a lot of athletes have the problem with just overthinking, and us as pros, we have those issues with overthinking. And once you just simplify everything, you just let everything flow, and just let your natural talent go and carry you, then the sky's the limit. I mean, simple thing you got to work on. Like I told you before, one thing I focus on when I'm sprinting is just work on my knee lift, and then everything else is easier.
For me, it's just not focusing on what can go wrong, but focusing on what can go right. Because a lot of times I'm worried like, oh, if I don't run well in this race, I'm going to get reduced, or I'm not going to get back in this next meet. I'm going to be kicked off the circuit, and all these bad things are running through my head. That's just a bad space to be operating in. But instead, think about what can go right and think, all right, when I do well, and kind of putting it out there and manifesting your success, then it kind of just translates into the way I run. And I put less pressure on myself, go out there and just flow, just let it happen. All right, so we're about to get out of here, but before we go, Kenny, what's one thing that you want people to know about you that they might not already know?
I love instruments, so I used to be in band when I was in middle school. I used to play the trombone. I wanted to be in the percussion, but everybody wants to be a percussionist.
When you're done, musical career or what? Just mess around with some instruments?
I'm gonna be doing a lot.
Future?
Yeah, messing around with instruments, just doing all sorts of things.
Okay. All right, we're about to get out of here. Kenny, I appreciate your time.
Appreciate you. Thanks for having me on.
Let them know where they can find you if they want to follow your journey.
You can follow at my socials down below.
Cool. Go follow me as well. Aaron Kingsley Brown on YouTube, Kingsley SC on Instagram, X, TikTok, all that good stuff. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel and join me on the way to 25,000 subscribers. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
The trouble, the trouble, the trouble, the trouble, the trouble, the trouble, the trouble.